When we start talking about our favorite desserts, my very favorite is this apple chip cake. It's a fresh apple cake, and once you've tried it, I guarantee you will love it. It's very rich though. I have here 2 cups granulated sugar, 1.5 cups vegetable oil, 2 eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and of course we always use the real vanilla. You can actually tell a difference in it, and whenever you buy it in the big bottles, it's really not that much more expensive than it is just to buy the imitation vanilla. We're going to turn that on a low speed, begin to mix it, turn it up on medium, and let that go until everything is well blended. It doesn't take very long. We're going to turn that off. All you're doing is getting that sugar well blended in with the egg and with the oil. Then to that, we are going to add our dry ingredients. And with that, we are going to want to put in 3 cups of sifted all-purpose flour. Now what I do is I usually sift the flour into a bowl and then put it into my measuring cup. You want to just lightly put that in there too. Okay, 3 cups. To that, we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Actually, the salt in a dessert brings out a lot of the sweetness and the flavor that's in it. And we're going to put in 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And I'm going to blend that. I'm going to start it on low so it doesn't throw the flour all over the place. Then turn it up a little bit. Now this will be a very thick cake batter. And as you can see, that's holding together very well. To that I'm going to add 3 cups of chopped apples. And as you can see, they're chopped very fine. The reason for that is they're going to be in a cake baking, and you want to be sure that those apples are well distributed, are small enough to where that they will cook down and get soft. 1/2 cup of chocolate chips, and about 2/3 cup of, I used the pecan pieces just because pecan is a little lighter in taste. If you like walnuts, you can put walnuts in there, but so many people think walnut has a strong taste, so I'm going to use pecan. And then I'm just going to turn that on low to blend that just enough to where that they're evenly mixed in there. And as you can see, that's very thick. I have here a 9x13 pan. You do not have to oil it, because remember, we've got 3 cups of oil in this cake. I don't like letting things go to waste, so I'm going to get that off of there really good. And then, because this is so thick, you're actually going to just lift that up and kind of put that in there. This also helps you to see how well you have the chocolate chips and the nuts mixed in with your flour and egg mixture. And then just kind of spread that out to where that it's even. Now this will not raise a lot because it's more of a, with all the heavy fruit and stuff in there. So don't expect that to be really light and fluffy. This is a heavy cake. Be sure that it's well evened around the sides. Okay. We're going to put that into a 350-degree oven and bake for 1 hour. Okay, it has been 1 hour. We're going to set our cake out and let that begin to cool. You see it's just a nice golden brown on the top. Set that aside. And now we're going to make our topping. While our cake cools, we'll let the topping begin to cool just a little bit too. Okay, and as you can see, the butter is beginning to melt. Working that brown sugar into it. Once I get all of the sugar melted and the butter all worked in, I'm going to add 1 cup of whipping cream. That's half a cup there. And another half. Right. And then we are just going to cook this until it begins to all come together and it begins to look almost like it's going to be a thin caramel. Okay, you want to stir this until it becomes very hot, but you do not want to boil your whipping cream and the butter and the mixture there. You want it to be hot but not boiling. You're going to bring it out and you're looking for it to where that it looks almost like it does when you're making jelly. It's going to kind of come off of there. You can see a few bubbles begin to come up right there in the center as it kind of works, and it kind of changes color a little bit. When it does that, it is ready. Now you can do this one of two ways. You can either pour it on while the cake is hot and your mixture is hot, or you can let both of them cool completely, then pour it on and spread it. What I like is to pour it on while both are still warm and let it seep down into the cake. This will be almost like a caramel topping. Want to get your corners. Turn that a little bit to get that corner. Okay. Now it's just going to be a matter of letting that set and letting it cool at room temperature. Make sure all of your cake is covered. All the little corners. All right. And now we're just going to let that set till it cools.